Welcome back to the channel. It's me, Christian. Today I'm going to discuss love bombing and ways to spot it. Now, this video is going to be shorter than my usual ones, which is the reason why I'm not showing my face. So with that said, I'm going to start off with the definition of love bombing, and then I'm going to break down the signs and indicators that you, in fact, are being targeted by a narcissist that is love bombing you. So love bombing can be defined as an attempt to influence, control, or manipulate a person by excessive demonstrations of attention, admiration, and affection. So when you first meet someone and you start dating them, being swept off your feet can feel fun. It's exciting, it's new, it's special. And there's always that hope in the back of your mind that, I wonder where this is going to go. Are they someone special to me? Could I potentially build a relationship and have a future with them? Or is this going to go nowhere? Right? All these different questions, it's the unknown. So having someone shower you with affection and admiration, it can be exhilarating, especially in the early stages of a relationship where everybody's in limerence, which is why you want to be so careful. However, love bombing is a different story. So what happens is they start overwhelming you and dropping all these love bombs on you, right? With all these kind words, actions, and behavior, which is designed as a manipulation technique used by a narcissist to win you over, to gain your trust, to gain your affection, so that then they can meet a goal of theirs. And we all know that narcissists use individuals to gain supply, attention, validation, perhaps a sense of safety or security, and reel you into a relationship to gain those things from you. And then they will proceed to drain you, devalue you, and discard you. But you see, it all starts with love bombing. So now that I've covered the definition, let's get into, the classic indicators of love bombing. So number one, they lavish you with gifts and over-the-top romantic gestures. This can include something like, after the first couple of dates, guys, she suddenly buys you, VIP tickets to watch your football team. And if you are a guy that has some serious low self-esteem, or perhaps you've never been in a relationship with a woman that you find as attractive as her, and she starts doing all these grand gestures like this can make you feel very special. This can really play on your ego, and you think, wow, this woman is awesome. She's very giving. No. This is a manipulation technique. So all of this seems harmless on the surface, but beneath it all, the point is to manipulate you into thinking that you owe them something. Okay, the intention is to draw you in and gain control over you. Ladies, this is going to be when you're with a guy and perhaps he's successful, and in the first couple of dates, all of a sudden he starts booking tickets to go on a cruise together. After the first few weeks or month, he suggests that you both go traveling because he booked some tickets so that you can both go traveling to Vegas or Mexico. So you think, wow, I'm getting swept off with my feet. This is great. Let's go to Paris. All of these things seem lovely. And it is done to make you feel like you really are the center of the universe. Like, wow, I actually feel special. That is the whole point of it. But I'm going to explain to you now why this is a serious red flag. Because it is an unspoken rule of dating that you do not buy gifts or presents unless you're in a committed relationship with someone. Men, if she's not your girlfriend and she's not your wife, you don't need to buy her anything. Ladies, if he's not your husband or your boyfriend, there's no reason for you to shower him with any gifts or such romantic gestures. Why? Because when you first meet someone, both the man and the woman are total strangers in each other's eyes. They don't know anything about each other. Okay? They are both going to protect their hearts and have the intention to get to know one another to determine if there's compatibility, right? Do we both share the same values? What could this partner potentially be in the long term? Do we make a good match, or should I really cut them off? So understand, in the first few weeks of the first month, there is no emotional connection built. There is no attachment built. So therefore, sending a gift to a man or a woman with a high self-esteem, it is going to come across as a red flag. Guys, you don't believe me? Go out tomorrow on a date with a beautiful woman and start buying her flowers right away. Start buying her perfumes. Pay off all of her bills and pay off the gas in her car for this weekend. And do you know what's going to happen if she's genuine? You ain't going to hear from her again. She might even try to return the money to you and then cut you off because she's going to be creeped the hell out. Why? Because a woman knows if this guy is truly masculine and confident, he's going to see himself as the prize. Okay, but if you start buying her all these things, she's going to think to herself, this guy's compensating for something. He doesn't feel like he's worthy enough of dating me. So he is buying all these things and behaving like a provider to show me that, he has value. Because he doesn't see it in himself. So she's going to disqualify you. Unless she's a gold digger or a narcissist herself, then sure, she will just use you at that point. And ladies, try the same thing with a guy. Try and buy him things right away. Try and shower him with all this affection too quickly, too soon. And that guy is going to run in the opposite direction. Why? Because men and women with a healthy self-esteem recognize that gift giving is only done in the context of a commitment where there is a mutual emotional connection. So when you first date, there is no emotional connection. So sending a gift or a present early on is a sign that the other person either has some serious low self-esteem that they're trying to compensate for, or at the very least, they're a narcissist that is trying to love bomb you. Okay, and that's why it raises red flags. So when you get all these over-the-top gestures early on, and they lavish you with all of these gifts and all these presents, that should scare you. Because the only time you should ever receive gifts from your partner is when it's a birthday, anniversary, Christmas, or another holiday that is special. Then it's okay. Okay? If a total stranger, which is what they are, gives you a present, that's going to creep you out. Whereas if it's your birthday and your cousin that you've known for 15 years, 25 years of your life, or your or your uncle, or your father, whoever gives you a present, you're going to value it. You're going to appreciate it. Why? Because you know them. You actually care and love them. Therefore, the present means something because there is an emotional connection behind it because you have a bond with that person. Which is why when you're in a relationship and you receive a present, it means something because you have that connection, that tie with them. But when they're a stranger, there is no emotional attachment. So if they're showering you with presents and gifts early on, what they're trying to do is build that emotional connection through the use of material gifts in a weak, sad attempt to make you feel special. And if you're in a lonely place in your life, you've got low self-esteem, you are going to mistake this for love and care when in fact it is manipulation. Be very careful. Number 2, they basically compliment you 24/7 with loving words. Now, we all crave admiration. Okay, everybody wants to feel like the person you are dating thinks highly of you, right? But understand when you first meet each other, you haven't built a level of respect because you don't know them on a deep level. All you know is you're into them physically and that they're into you physically as well. That's it. That's all there is. And, if you're out on a date and a girl gives you a compliment, guys, she says, wow, you've got really nice arms. You seem to work out a lot. You've got a very attractive smile. I really like you. I think you're a cool guy. There's nothing wrong with that. Ladies, if you're with a dude and you're on a date with him and he says to you, hey, Jessica, you've got very beautiful eyes. Or, your dress looks lovely. There's nothing wrong with him saying that. That's genuine. And from time to time, people say those things. However, when it becomes a little too specific, that is idealized, and that becomes used constantly, then it becomes a problem. Let me explain. Because this is a potential red flag that the feelings aren't genuine. So some common over-the-top phrases might be, I love everything about you. Well, how can they love everything about you when they don't know everything about you? All they know in the first 2-3 dates is that you're attractive and maybe have a couple things in common. They haven't seen you after 2, 3, 4 years when you both come out of limerence and you've been through the ups and downs. Then they can say they love everything about you. Right now, Oh, I've never met anyone as perfect as you. You are the idea of perfection. No one's perfect. So if they're saying that to you, It is to stroke your ego. You're special to me is another one. How are you going to be special to someone on the second date? What are you, Superman? I don't think so. Unless you somehow put a love potion on that woman, okay, on a second date, and all of a sudden she's intoxicated with you, sure. But that stuff doesn't exist. That's what you see in the movies. In real life, it does not work that way. It's going to take a woman between a month and a half to 2.5 months to build an emotional connection to where she suddenly starts to feel those first emotions of emotional attachment towards you. Anything sooner than that is all idealization. It's all fantasy. So when she starts saying, you're special, you're perfect, I only want to spend my time with you, I love everything about you, guys, that's a red flag. All these compliments are designed to boost your self-esteem, to make you feel unique, special. And remember, if it seems too good to be true, that's because it is. So continuing on with the next sign. They want commitment as soon as possible, and they make attempts to rush into a relationship. Now, this can also include moving in very quickly. This can also mean they will mention things such as marriage. When are we going to get engaged? In some cases, they may even discuss having children very soon. Because keep in mind, when you've been with someone for the first couple of weeks, okay, even if it's just 2 days or a couple of months, these topics are off limit. Now, you guys can sit there and have a discussion on your values. For example, you can say, look, one day I'd like to have a family. She can say the same thing. Great, you've got compatibility. But if you're sitting there and she's having all these conversations with you, how she wants to have 4 kids with you on the 3rd day, and she starts telling you all the names they're going to have, and hey, we should get married in 4 months, and then you should move in with me next week, that's a red flag. Because a real relationship takes time to develop, okay? A narcissist that is love bombing you will pressure you into a commitment as soon as possible, because their goal is to gain control over you as soon as possible. And a narcissist knows that if they get you to commit, since you are someone that is genuine with good morals and values, you're going to stand by your commitment, okay? And then they can gain more supply from you. They basically have a safety net that if they have you committed, you're not going anywhere. So they can use you as much as they want, exploit you for as long as they want, and then discard you as they see fit. And have a guarantee that you really ain't going anywhere. That's the whole point. Guys, this is why I always say, do not rush into a relationship. Okay, again, if you have low self-esteem, you're going to be prone to doing these things, and you will fall for this. Because men and women that value themselves are always going to take things slow. Think about it. If you're a guy and you know that you have a lot to offer, you're attractive, you're masculine, you've got your life together, you know that any woman would be lucky to have you. If she's a feminine woman who is faithful, okay, she's pure, she's modest, she knows she's got a lot to offer a man. And as a woman, she should want to take things slow even more so than you, because she's the one that can get pregnant. The risk falls upon her. So an intelligent woman needs to protect herself from men that would potentially use her for sex, men that would take advantage of her, men that would get her pregnant and leave her. Which is why women that value themselves are always going to take things slow. They are not going to rush into a relationship. They are not going to rush into a marriage, and they are not going to rush into moving in too quickly, too soon. Whenever you are seeing this, you are dealing with a narcissist that is love bombing you. Because if they can speed things up and it's going too quickly, too soon, what's happening is, again, you feel like you're special. Wow, I'm the star of the movie. I'm getting all this preferential treatment. And if you've never had anyone in your life that's made you feel special, or you don't think you yourself is special, now that this woman is boosting your ego, making you feel like, wow, someone wants to move in with me, someone wants to spend their life with me, someone wants to build a family with me, guess what? That can blur the lines between reality and fiction, to where you get stuck in your head and you think, this is real, they must really want this with me. When you look at it for what it really is, you can see this is all manipulation. That's all it is. Because a genuine woman, if she really wants to have a family, if she really wants to get married, She needs time to get to know if you're worthy of being a husband, if you're worthy of being a father to her kids. As a man that values himself, you're going to ask yourself the same questions. Is she worthy of having my kids? Is she worthy of being a wife? Is she worthy of being a mother to my kids, right? You're going to ask yourself these questions because you take relationships seriously. You understand that a commitment is a very important thing. It's very delicate. It's not to be taken lightly. So that is why I want you to understand this is a serious red flag that you are being love bombed. They pressure for that commitment in a couple of weeks or a couple of months, even in a year. Let's move in. Let's get married. This woman may even say she's on the pill to trap you and get you pregnant. It's happened to many successful, wealthy men. Be very, very careful. Continuing on with the next sign. They require your attention 24/7. How does this play out? The same way they give you all these sweet compliments, how you're perfect and that they love everything about you, a narcissist is going to make every attempt in their power to gain control over your life. And they do this by spending as much time around you as possible for you to build the emotional attachment towards them. So no matter how much time and access you give them, you will notice that it will never seem enough. So anytime you spend time with your buddies, whether you go to the gym, your hobbies, you even visit your family or have alone time, you will notice how the narcissist will become upset. They will play the victim. They will say that you're not giving them enough attention, that they want more of you. Being the good person that you are, you might feel pity or guilty because, remember, they've showered you with all these gifts. They've given you all these compliments to make you feel special. So now you feel indebted to them. This is what toxic people do. Toxic people make you feel indebted to them so that they can rely on you day and night. So what's going to happen is, due to that guilt that they make you feel because of all the sweet things they've done for you, you start cancelling the gym. You take your time to respond to your family and your buddies. And next thing you know, you're spending all of your time with this individual and you lose your identity. You see, masculine men have a fulfilling life. They have a career or business that they love, that they're passionate about. They have friends and family that they care about, hobbies that they enjoy. They have a well-rounded, happy life. When that is your reality, you are very difficult to control. So the narcissist takes small steps to mesh your life with theirs. And as you build the emotional attachment due to all the love bombing they're giving you, what happens is you start to focus more on the narcissist and pull away from your life outside of the narcissist. So what happens is you spend more and more time with them and they gain more power over you. And we've all seen this happen. You know, we all know a friend of ours who got into a relationship and the guy just disappeared. He went AWOL. He went like Bin Laden and they couldn't find him. And then the dude appears 6 months later or a year later and the guy looks emotionally drained. Hey, Jimmy, what happened? You know, we tried to call you to hang out, to go play football with us. Where were you? You disappeared, man. What happened? Oh, sorry, guys. I was dating this girl and it got a little bit toxic. Classic example. She pulled him in, she love bombed him, and she abused him. And when she was done with him, she discarded him and left, monkey brushed on him. And now that guy is left, emotionally drained, and he abandoned his friends and family and everyone. That's you can see that in your friends. When anyone seems very isolated, all of a sudden your friend doesn't want to spend any time with you, that's a very clear indicator that the narcissist has been love bombing them and pressured them into giving him his time to her 24/7. Now, so why is this such a red flag? Well, guys, an emotional attraction, right, grows within time and space. When you spend time with someone, you feel good. But for the emotional attraction to truly blossom, you need time and space away from each other, especially for the woman. You see, if that woman was truly genuine, yes, over time she will want more of your time. However, by having a life outside of her, this gives her the time and space she needs to wonder about you, to miss you, to ask herself those questions. When is he going to text me again? When is he going to call me? This is what engages a woman's emotions, grows that attraction she has towards you, makes her value your time and presence more and appreciate you more. It is necessary for the health of any interaction, any relationship. But when you've been with a girl for a couple of weeks or a month and she wants your attention 24/7 and there's no emotional attachment on her end, that's when it becomes a red flag and you know you are being love bombed. Because if she is a feminine woman who's healthy mentally and is not a narcissist, she will also want some time away from you to wonder where she stands with you, to figure out her feelings towards you, to discuss you with her girlfriends. Is he a good match for me? She needs that time and space away from you. But when someone wants your time 24/7, in the first couple of weeks or the first couple of months, you are being love bombed by a narcissist. Okay, yes, if you've been with your girl for 2, 3, 4 years, yes, she will want more and more of your time. Obviously, when you stay on your grind and you have a life outside of her, she will crave more of your presence. Because remember, insecure, emotionally damaged women and narcissists want your attention and validation, whereas genuine women want your presence as a man. So remember, if she wants your attention 24/7 and gets upset when you start living your life with your friends, with your family, you focus on your work, go to the gym, and she starts crying, guilting you into spending more time with her, that is very narcissistic and you want to pay close attention to it. Never forget that a narcissist that is love bombing you will get upset at any attempt you make at slowing down that process. That is why they fear you living a life outside of them. So any boundary you set in place or anytime you tell them to slow down, it will be met with a lot of resistance, right? Because they're going to keep manipulating you to get what they want. Whereas if someone truly cares or is starting to care for you, they're going to respect your wishes and back off. That's why love bombers, they get upset at any boundary you put in place because it will hinder their access to you. Okay, now that I've covered the signs and indicators of love bombing, I want to mention why love bombing is dangerous. The idealization can bring your self-esteem, hope, and expected reciprocation to great heights, only for you to eventually be trampled on and devalued. Because understand that the love bombing phase only lasts until they get a commitment out of you. Once their needs are not met, and this could be anywhere from 6 months to 2 to 4 years, even in some rare cases, but what will happen is it will be followed by devaluation always. They will discard you and dispose of you like you were nothing. This is why it causes such an injury if you have been through this. You see, love bombing, once it turns to devaluation, can make the person on the receiving end of love bombing become depressed, anxious, and act in desperation to be put back on that pedestal that they once were in the beginning. This is why when an individual becomes cheated on or betrayed by their partner, they make sad attempts at reconnecting with them or giving them another chance because they want things to go back to the way they were in the beginning. Okay? Because when you're love bombed, it's so easy to grow romantic feelings for them, not knowing that it's all manipulation. It's all a farce. It's not real. Ultimately, we all want to feel good. We all want to feel loved and appreciated and accepted by others. But when you are love bombed, it is targeted directly to manipulate you. It is ultimately inauthentic and inhumane because your brain gets hooked on those highs of the attention. So once their manipulative behavior starts to appear, you're less likely to recognize it. You're blinded because you overlooked all of those red flags at the beginning. You were love bombed, right? So you're just so focused on how perfect they were, how perfect they made you feel, that you're almost blindsided by their terrible behavior that follows. And plus, all your partner has to do at that point is throw out a few more love bombs, drop a few more on you, and you're more likely to forget and forgive them and it keeps the cycle going. Okay? It's never about compassion or care or love or tenderness, none of that. For the love bomber, for that narcissist, you're nothing more than a shiny object, than a toy that captures their attention. And once their needs are met, they will toss you into the garbage bin and they'll look for someone else. In conclusion, you are more prone to being love bombed if you grew up in a dysfunctional home where your basic needs weren't met, so you don't know what healthy attachments or love actually looks like. You're codependent, you have a weak self-esteem. Perhaps you're going through some difficulty right now, whether it's a financial crisis, health concerns, you just lost a loved one, perhaps a close relative has passed away, or you're at a place in your life where you're lonely or unfulfilled. You're very, very lustful. You have poor self-control or lack of boundaries. You are very prone to being targeted by a narcissist because you're much easier to manipulate. So be very careful, protect yourself, and always put in the work to become a stronger individual, okay? So with that said, guys, that is love bombing 101. And as a bonus, I will throw in, there is one clear distinction between a male to female narcissist during the love bombing stage. Guys, pay attention. If you are involved with a woman who is love bombing you, one thing that she will definitely do early on is sleep with you. She will become intimate with you as soon as possible. Women know that men are visually stimulated, okay? And because most men have poor self-control in terms of lust and sexual desire, she will meet your dreams, okay? She will fulfill all of your sexual fantasies. She will make you feel like you're the man to play off of your ego. This is done to get your guard down and make you think that you're special to her, that you built an attachment. When obviously if she's sleeping with you right away, as you know, that ain't the case. Do not be played for a fool. And for the ladies watching, if you are dealing with a man and you're not sure if he's love bombing you or not, pay close attention to what he says. Again, it's a very well-known fact that women fall in love by what they hear, okay? Women need to feel protected, safe, that they can trust in a man, okay? So what the male narcissist will do is he will whisper all of those sweet nothings in your ear. He will tell you how he wants to have a future with you, how he wants to have a family with you, how he's going to give you that commitment. He will tell you how you're so beautiful, that he's never met a woman like you before, how he loves you very quickly, very soon. And of course, it's going to be accompanied by all of those gifts and all of those romantic gestures to show you that he could potentially give you that safety and security that you crave in a relationship with a man. He does that to let your guard down, so you open your heart up to him, which then leads him to control you, manipulate you, and ultimately discard you. Be very, very careful. So, to wrap everything up, hope you all enjoyed the video. Leave down below your thoughts in the comment section of what you'd like to see next. If you're a new viewer, I would appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. If you are interested in sharing your situation with me privately or any questions you have, you can reach out to me. The email will be down in the description. And for all of my long-term subscribers, I would like to say thank you for the love and support. It means the world to me. God bless all of you. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.